Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Minotaur, a tier 10 British cruiser. I'm on the map Greece in a 4-point domination game. It's a tier 10 battle, there is one sub and there is no carry. Now I've been detected here, which is not what you wanna be in a Minotaur, because I haven't reached the island that I wanna go yet. And somehow I managed to miss an entire salvo there. So there are some Yamato shells coming my way, and I got lucky that I didn't get insta-deleted, so all this a good start. Now I've reached the island that I wanted to go to. I could have tried to slow down and smoke sooner, but there's also an Alaska coming this way, and I've decided that if I try to smoke out in the open, then the Alaska's gonna radar me, and then I'll be worse off than I'm now. So I decided to make the run for the island. I've managed to arrive. Now the Alaska radar will come, and there it is. Now I have to hug this island. Now unfortunately it's not the biggest island, so save me, island! I'm also not positioned in the bestest way, I guess. It's see, there is like this gap here. Fortunately, Yamato is going in a way that I don't think it can use that very effectively. And it only hit my superstructure here, so it might be that my vulnerable ship's body is actually protected. So I'm trying to hug the island a little bit tighter. Now the enemies at sea are hopefully too far away to actually do anything about me, so I think I can weather the storm here and survive this radar. Then I can reverse back out and do some more shoot. Ah, wait, I can actually shoot over this island. Oh, Minotaur shells are... well, they like to enter orbit before they come down, I guess. Now, the enemy destroyer that we caught earlier has been taken out, and the cap has been claimed for us. So overall, it's looking pretty good here. Our team also took out a submarine, not something I was able to help with, because I'm Minotaur and I don't have planes. So, there is that. Now the Alaska here seems to be peeking, and I think I've aimed a bit too high there.
Our team has taken
So,
the lead.
I mean, there is this small gap that I can singly launch torps through, but the Alaska isn't just sitting there and taking it when I start shooting it. Now there is a chance that the Alaska will go forward again, but it's a very slim one, I suppose. Yeah, especially how heavily the Alaska is getting pummeled, it's probably just gonna sit there in cover. Now it takes those torps a little bit to reach. Technically it's possible that the Alaska decides to peek again. But yeah. Meanwhile, Viper has F-struck 2 Harpies. Wait, maybe they weren't F-strikes, but you know it was a double strike, so it looks like there were 2 Harpies, probably sharing a smoke screen, I presume, and they ate a bunch of fish. So good job, Viper. Now I have retreated here because the radar is gonna be ready again. Also, I'm lacking targets to really shoot, and it's possibly just time to relocate to B. I mean, if I'm around B, I can still shoot stuff at A. Also, let's leave some torps there. You'll never know. The Alaska is technically not in range, but it needs to go forward anyway in order to go around this island. You'll never know if you get lucky. So this is looking pretty good for us so far. The enemy has, well, their ships mostly uselessly positioned. We have a YOLO Emilio behind their banks. We'll see how that goes, although the YOLO Emilio is currently not on a YOLO path. And I've managed to get myself caught up in the radar again. That's bad news, because for example there is a Yamato and there is a Conqueror, and they can do very bad things to me. Now I have escaped the radar. Now this is where, for example, those torps might have been great, because if the Alaska like gets greedy, it sees it radars me and it charges around the corner to shoot me, then those torps might have done something, but the Alaska is actually reversing. Anyway. I'm still on my way towards the center, and we'll have to see where I position myself. The radar is now on cooldown, but it's gonna be ready again at some point. I'm just trying to, you see there's this gap here in this island. Trying to see if I can lob some shares because Alaska is going forward again. If this Alaska was defeated, it would give me so much more room for maneuvers. Like, I have to be very careful that I'm not getting caught in a position where the Alaska can radar me and I have no cover. Now, the enemy team is actually pushing B now, that's interesting. And oh, the Alaska is almost down. Well, I mean, I can't get shots in there, but somebody maybe can. Yeah, we have like the Marco Polo there in one line. And yes, nice. Okay, so that's one problem dealt with. So I can now just sit more comfortably in my smoke screen and farm things, hopefully.
Smoke screen set.
Now it looks like the enemy Yamato was tired of being at the zone wall and has decided to charge in. Well, and then it decided immediately to go for a broadside. I mean, it's possibly getting pinged, so it wants to disengage from the submarine. Which, fair enough. But, you know, I don't think that's gonna work. Although, I mean, you can see some sub-corps there, but I don't know if the sub... They look like they are too deep, though. I mean, maybe they are not actually homing torps, and the sub has just launched at the bottom of the ocean regular torps that aren't rising. I mean, would it surprise anyone? Anyway, it looks like the Yamato is actually escaping. So, shame. Well, I have more targets to shoot at, and honestly, ship-wise, it's getting pretty close again, right? We do have the camps. The Yolo Emilio behind the enemy's back is taking the last remaining enemy camp. And that means, like, points-wise, we are gonna be very far ahead pretty soon. But the enemy does have a fearsome force in B, right? And our forces are still somewhat stuck back there in A. So, I mean, the thing is, right, if they flip B and we flip C, the enemy is still in a lot of trouble. For now, I can shoot this Ruprecht a bit. Now, there is a Chopard coming around here, and my smoke is running out, so this is actually not ideal. I have a little bit longer in my smoke, but I've decided that I'm gonna start running now, especially since the Chopard here is reversing a bit. So we're gonna go single launch torps there, if this Chopard actually commits. So right now, yeah, the Chopard is gonna get a shot off this bed. And I live! I live. Yeah, the Chopard is reversing, so that was the only shots he got off. I have my torps. If the Chopard committed, maybe I would have torped him. Speaking of torping stuff, there is a Ruprecht. Yeah, let's try torping then. My smoke's almost ready again, and I've made it to this island, so I feel a lot safer now. Now the Ruprecht has Hydro. If the Ruprecht pushes in with Hydro, that could be a problem. And yeah, we'll see. Like, if the Chopard decides to push now, I've got smoke and Hydro, right? I mean, it might be too close to shoot it. But with smoke and Hydro, maybe I can keep it spotted and then torp it once the torps reload. But that's assuming the Chopard actually moves forward, which is still a question. Now, there is a Vermont coming from the other side. I'm mostly concerned with the Ruprecht still. And, you know what? Maybe I'm not concerned about the Ruprecht after all. Well, that's a problem solved. Okay. We have a Hindenburg to shoot at. I should be careful not to leave my smoke screen here, so I've stopped firing because I accidentally reversed a little bit too far. So the Chopard might finally be moving forward. Still not sure about that, but the Vermont is sort of pushing. Now my torps are almost reloaded, like 15 more seconds. And the good news is I have single launch torps, right? This means that if the Vermont is gonna slow down and go exactly nose in to come around here, I can still score a lot of hits. So I'm only using one launcher here, like there is no way the Vermont is going in a straight line in front of the smoke screen, so I expect it to slow down and come around your nose in. And that's when my single launch torps will come into play. Or maybe it just absolutely does nothing. I mean, oh, if it doesn't want to maneuver, I guess. I mean, I'm still using single launch here, but, you know, not that it was needed at this point. He's also getting cross-torp, by the way, but hey. Well, that's one moment dealt with. That leaves the enemy with 3 ships. Actually, we only have 5 ships, so it's not like we are winning that hard on ships. It's just that the enemy has really ignored the objectives a bit. And they don't have anything to go after our sneaky stuff, so technically just by the fact that we have a destroyer and a submarine, we are gonna win this on points. And that gives me the confidence to just YOLO a Shabbat. Now, I do have a Slava here with me. And if nothing else, I'm just a distraction for the Slava to do stuff. But hey, I've managed to turn just enough to get some torps off, and there we go. The Shabbat got one salvo off that could have probably killed me, but it didn't. You know, sometimes I'm the one who gets lucky. It's not always just me who is failing to sink broadside ships. And after this battle, you know, we can't just do some risky YOLO stuff, I guess. So, now all that's remaining is the Hindenburg. I'm not gonna sail into his torps. There's no point in trying to torp myself. I'm just gonna solve this with guns. Going a bit too high there, because I'm not looking. It's okay though, it's okay. Will I get the kill? Yes, so.
We sank an enemy cruiser.
And I mean, with that we're just gonna reach 1,000 points and the enemy conqueror shall never be seen again. So this was a pretty fun Minotaur game, I have to say, and while we dominated cap-wise, ship-wise it was actually a pretty close one and it could have possibly turned around there. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see ya next time.